Hi everyone. I hope you're having a good day today.
Hello.
Hello. So, I'm going to talk about our products. I represent Sonomono Company. We are a Natto products manufacturer from Fukuoka, Japan. As Ms. Fujimura said before, there are a lot of healthy foods in Japan, but our company thinks that among those healthy foods, natto is one of the most outstanding healthy foods. And there are several reasons. One of the reasons is because it's entirely made from soy. And soy has a protein score, a perfect protein score of 100. What does it mean? That the soy protein has the same quality that meat, like, for example, pork meat or fish. Basically, if you are eating soy, you are getting the same equivalent in protein, but from a vegetable source. And that's one point that makes natto amazing. So soy is already considered a superfood, but we could say that when the soy is fermented by a special bacteria exclusive to natto, any other fermented food has that bacteria, the Bacillus subtilis bar natto, it becomes kind of a super food. So that is natto kind of a super food. And many people would wonder why it's a super food, because it has all the complete amino acids. I mean, the protein benefits of soy, plus unique nutrients that just are developed after the soy is fermented into natto. And what are those nutrients? One of them is vitamin K2. So natto is actually the highest vegetable source of vitamin K2. Another one is an enzyme called nattokinase. And nattokinase has been studied a lot in recent years because it has a property, a unique property that is dissolving blood clots. So it helps to improve blood circulation and also helps to soften or hard walls and vein walls. So it's very good for circulation in general and other well-being related. And the last, one of the last things is that it also contains probiotics, the natto-bacteria. And that's a very important topic. This is the regular natto sold in Japan, those kind of capacity packages. So the way to it is that you open the package and then with chopstick you mix it and then you stir on something like, for example, cooked rice or something like that. And it contains a lot of probiotics, a lot of natto bacteria. But there is a small demerit of this. Depending on the food that you are eating, and honestly, if you are lucky, some of the bacteria of the raw natto are going to survive the gastric acid, reach the intestine, and start working as a probiotic. What does it mean? Probiotic is a good bacteria that helps another good intestinal bacteria to grow, and together they deliver a lot of health benefits, like, for example, support immunity, support digestion, support nutrients assimilation, and a lot of collateral things. Lately, it has even studied that it's or good health or the I could say the microbiome, the intestinal bacteria balance also affects, for example, our brain performance or sleep quality, skin beauty, and a lot of things. So we could say that helping to create a healthy, good environment is kind of the key for a healthy and long life at work. The point is that even if you eat raw natto every day, just a small fraction of these good natto bacteria are going to survive the gastric acid. Why? Because those are live organisms. So when they enter in contact with gastric acid, the gastric acid destroys them. So that's a pity. Just a little bit are going to survive the gastric acid. So our company solved this problem by converting this into this. So what is this? This is a freeze-dried version of the natto. So what we do is we take the natto, and by applying ultra-low temperature, we convert this into a very, very fine and easy to use powder. So with this process, we keep all the natto nutrients, the vitamin K2, the amino acids, the polyglutamic acid. But something incredible happened. The bacteria changes its state. The Bacillus subtilis is a kind of a special organism who has the ability to change its shape from a living organism into a spore. And what is a spore? It's a concentration of DNA of an organism encapsulate and protect by an ultra hard shield, like kind of ultra hard capsule, natural capsule. So it allows that bacteria to survive the gastric acid, and not just the gastric acid, heat more than 100 degrees, UV radiation, vacuum, and a lot of things, reach the intestines, break that spore, make a new body, and start working as a probiotic. So I'm going to show this with a short part of a video. Let me share this. So this is a video that we produced in collaboration with one of the top scientific video production companies in Japan. So basically what we did was asking this company to make an experiment and put live Nattobacteria and spore Nattobacteria in an environment that simulates the gastric acid for 30 minutes. That is the time that usually takes the food to be in the stomach before passing to the next digestion step. So you can see that after 30 minutes in the gastric acid, the left side of your screen, the live Nattobacteria grows. But after 30 minutes, it stops growing. So then we return the Nattobacteria to an environment that simulates the intestines. So with the same moisture and the same temperature, something wonderful happened. The spores of our Nattobacteria breaks the shear and start to grow, as you can see here. It's crazy. While the live Nattobacteria of the regular natto stop growing. So after 8 hours, the bacteria of the natto powder have outsourced the regular Nattobacteria and start filling the intestines walls and growing as a probiotic. So that's one of the evidence that we have that our natto powder really contains Nattobacteria that survives the gastric acid, reach the intestine, and help another good bacteria to grow. And also we have a paper, a scientific paper published in an international peer-reviewed journal called Nutrients that shows exactly what other good bacteria grows thanks to the effect of our Nattobacteria. That's all the part that I want to show over the video. If someone is interested, I could send the link later. You can send a message through the JVREX chatting option. So all of this sounds good, but what could be the idea of making something super healthy if it's not something that you want to eat every day? So we have a cook demonstration today. I'm going to show how to use our natto powder for 3 effects. 1, adding umami. 2, adding texture. And 3, adding probiotics. So what is umami? Umami is the traditional flavor of Japanese food. So what does umami mean? Umami does something similar to glutamic acid. So when you add Sonomono natto powder to your food, the flavors of the food are going to be reinforced. What does it mean? If something is healthy, something is salty, it's going to taste more salty. If something is sweet, it's going to taste sweeter. So basically, if you are in a low salt diet or low sodium diet, you can just add a little bit of salt to your food, and after that, add natto powder, and it's going to pop up all the flavors of the food. So to demonstrate this, I have here some fresh prepared carbonara pasta. So the way to use couldn't be more simple. We take the natto powder, we use a sprinkle, and that's one point. Very, very important. We have two versions of natto powder. We have this, I'm going to show you the English version. We have this called classic or regular, and we have this called mild. So for example, when you want to enjoy umami or add umami to your food, I recommend using the classic version, because it smells 100% like natto. So you use a sprinkle on your food, you mix it, and then you just enjoy it. And that is the first effect. You add umami to your food, but at the same time, you are adding billions and billions of probiotics to your food. So imagine that you can convert or turn any food into a probiotic rich food. And how does it taste? Mm, awesome. Very, very good. Also, sorry. It's good. You can use it as substitute of Parmesan cheese if you want. So I'm going to show you the second way to use. Please wait a minute. Sorry, I have to go to the fridge. So the next way to use is for adding texture. Here we have some matcha ice cream. As you know, there is a matcha boom because of a lot of people are looking for the antioxidant properties of matcha, anti-aging, and that kind of thing. So what about making your anti-aging matcha into something supercharged with probiotics and even something else? So here we have again the classic one. Just the classic one can do it. The mild cannot. And it's adding extra texture. So look what's going to happen. We have the ice cream, and we mix it with the nut powder, and check what's going to happen. It became chewy. Look. So it's a little bit like chewing gum. So for example, if you're looking for an interesting and fun way to support your kids' health, and you want to make them to eat probiotics and matcha powder, why don't you try it this summer? It's something like a Turkish ice. And it's very, very good. So we have the matcha, who regularly is a little bit bitter, but after adding the natto powder, the flavor became more balanced. And now it's even sweeter. It's very, very, very good. Really good. Please wait a minute. So just to compare, I have the original matcha ice cream here. So you can see it. So it's not elastic. It's just simple ice cream. It doesn't have that chewy consistency, just like this. And the flavor is different, a little bit more bitter. But once you add the natto powder, it became chewy, elastic, and it's sweeter. You would never think that there is natto in the ice cream. So why this is very, very important? Because for overseas people, people who didn't grow eating natto, it's quite difficult to accept the natto smell because it's very, very strong, very, very pungent. It's stronger than aged cheese. So even if natto is a super healthy food, it's difficult for some people to eat it. And actually, there is a survey that says that 50% of Japanese people don't like natto because of the smell and the viscosity is very, very chewy. But when you use the natto powder, you can add all the goodness of natto to your regular food and enjoy it every day with virtually anything. So there are just big tips. If you want to add umami or make the flavors to pop up, make something salty saltier or something sweet sweeter, use the regular. If you don't want to notice the natto, just kind of like a nutty accent of natto, I recommend to use the mild one. Basically, the nutrients are the same, the quantity of nutrients, the vitamin K2, the probiotics, the nattokinase are the same. They have the same content. The only difference is the smell. It has less smell. So as it has less smell, our brain detects a less powerful version of natto, so it's easier to hide with food. So for example, in this case, matcha has a very, very strong flavor. So you can use the regular one without problem. But for example, think about another kind of ice cream, like for example, like milk ice cream or vanilla ice cream. I think you are going to find if you put the regular one. But if you don't want to notice the flavor, you can use the mild one. So those are my advices for using natto. And for people who want to eat natto but absolutely don't want to know anything about even the small hint of flavor, we have the natto powder capsules. So what are those? Basically, these are the same natto powder that we already have, but it's encapsulated in a very, very tiny and easy to swallow capsule like this, really, really, really tiny. So you just need to take 3 of these capsules and you are taking the same amount of probiotics that with a small teaspoon of natto powder as I did before. So for example, for people who go to the gym or are traveling or go to work or that kind of things and don't want to carry the natto powder, they just need to take it every day and get the same benefits of taking natto. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all from my side. If somebody has any question, please feel free to ask or DM through our company's register email or through JVREX chat tool too. We will be happy to answer any question that you have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Giovanni.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. One buyer ask you quick question. When I ask you question, that's fine.
Yes, okay.
He said, "Do your products all smell like the shiitake noodle? Maybe shiitake, like he
Okay,
said.
shiitake.
I think
Mm,
shiitake.
I may say no. I know shiitake. Shiitake has kind of acid smell compared to natto. It's very difficult for overseas people to understand what is the smell of natto. I should compare it with aged cheese, like for example, like a strong aged cheese, like Parmesan cheese. I think that's the easiest way to understand. If you take some Parmesan cheese and smell natto, you're going to find they are very, very similar because they are fermented food. But if you buy this one, the mild one, you won't even find like it has a kind of strong smell. Even I could say that even the regular natto powder has a more easy to accept smell than the raw natto. I mean, the raw natto really has a very, very strong smell. I think
Yes.
for Asian people could be something compared to durian. You know, some people love durian smell, some people hate durian smell. I think the same happens with natto. Some people just really can't stand of natto smell. But I could say that our natto powder smells better.